So I think the other thing is my parents have rented out before on
Mhm.
places that they own. So for reference, my parents were expats for years. They lived abroad for my dad's job and they owned a little house in Rogers Park, Chicago, which is more north. I hope that's right. We're gonna believe that. No, if it's not.
Look.
Well, edit that in post. But it was up north, just below Evanston, and I really hope that's right. I got the location.
No,
Um,
you're gonna be safe.
okay. But yeah, they own the little house there, a little bungalow, and they rented it out to these girls, and it
Just
was
so
a
your face and like
mess.
what happened.
Like I said, don't listen to my parents. We're
Most
for
definitely.
rent for
There's
like
a lot of
most
horror
advice.
stories. Yeah.
Oh my god! I mean, like renting horror stories, like that. I
Mhm.
feel like that's common, but they essentially were running a brothel out of the place. Yeah,
No.
they
No.
had would get messages from neighbors that are like, "Hey, like you might want to check in on this," but they were in Hong Kong.
Oh.
Like they were not able to just come back and check on
Yeah. That's
things.
not what you want to hear on your
Not at
rental
all. So they
property.
came back and they had to actually like evict them. Like it was
Yeah.
a process. And Chicago, Illinois is very like renter friendly, which is
Mhm.
good for me and bad for some. But they did evict them. They left and there were mattresses all over the apartment.
Oh.
It was like, there
Were
wasn't mattresses
the brothel
everywhere.
activities or
Yeah. Like
everywhere? Wow.
the place was trashed. They were like, what happened here? We don't know. And
I don't want to know.
that's right. So I would say that like they had been scarred from doing it
That makes
before.
sense.
And so
Yeah.
they were like, we want to get this ironclad, everything all set up, especially if I was going to be the one like handling it. But
Yeah.
I was going to be renting it out to people that I knew, or honestly, like even if one of our friends wanted to move to Chicago, like I just,
Me.
you know, and get a good deal out of it, like 1,700 in a place that is
Yeah.
23.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah,
Yeah. Or you could have done, would you consider using a property management company?
maybe. I think for the amount of money at the time, right, which was maybe a year and a half ago, the rent has gone up that much in a
It's
year and a
crazy
half.
how much it changed.
It's been crazy. At the time, I was like, I'm only going to be making maybe 300 off of renting it out on top of the fees and things to like get things set up. But Illinois has a lot of stipulations for landlords. I don't know if it's a national rule. You may be able to tell me this, but if you own more than 5 rental properties, do you have to get a certain type of licensure or things like that?
Not in Nevada.
Okay. Illinois, you have to. So if you buy more than 5, or once you hit your 5th rental property, you now have to have certain licensing, you're now essentially a commercial landlord, which then jacks up like different fees and taxes and things like that. So they say that if you're not making a lot off of it, or at least like a decent amount, or you have the time or the money that's disposable, that it's hard to get over that 5th rental property hump. But I felt like I agreed with my parents, which was like, oh, if I'm only clearing like $200 off of this rental property, is this really like
Yeah. But then you have the
making a big
property
dent?
also
But then I have the
and the
property.
appreciation.
Exactly. Like it's already gone up. I think the place was 180 when we bought it, and my parents sold it for almost 200 because they just wanted to get rich for
Yeah.
it. But I was like, guys, please. But yeah, and it had been my primary residence. Like it was
Yeah.
ready to go. And so, but
Oh,
yeah,
you know what are the I don't know if you know the Airbnb laws or regulations in Chicago.
I think it's hard downtown because I would say that Chicago's not really an Airbnb city, just
Yeah.
in general, because there's so many good hotels. It's a huge convention center
Mhm.
city, much like
Vegas.
Vegas,
Yeah.
but no one's going to Chicago for their bachelor party. But I don't know, if Chicago's as fun in the same ways. But
It's
boom,
fun. I think so.
you like it, yeah, too. But yeah, so I don't think that it's very profitable to be an Airbnb host just because you've got major chains, historical hotels,
Yeah.
and then the McCormick Center like holds so many people. It's no one wants to stay.
It's
Long-term rentals, though.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
probably
Airbnb
difficult
rentals.
also for Airbnb in Chicago because you have to have the main draw, I think, in Vegas for an Airbnb is
Mm.
because you can put more people. So, like, maybe multiple families will book one together, like a big group. But
Yeah,
in Chicago, like, there's not as many, like, big houses to do it
exactly.
with.
Yeah. I would say that if you wanted to get a big family reunion going in Chicago, you're gonna be pretty hard pressed to find a place that's big enough. Like,
Yeah.
one lot's maybe, like, the 3 flat is big enough for, like, maybe 2 families, 2,
Mhm.
3, but I don't think it's, like, big enough for anything, like, crazy.
It's like everybody would have to stay
Yeah.
together at a hotel or get, like, different places.
You would probably do better just renting out as a regular, like, apartment situation. Yeah. But I do know people that do, like, month-long or longer, like, Airbnb setups because that typically, like, people are looking for. I know a lot of people that the market's crazy for buying houses right now. We have a friend that's looking right now. He wants to buy a multifamily. That's the
Mhm.
situation he's been. All
Does
of
he
his
wanna,
ex-friends
like, rent part and then
live
the
in the
other
other one. And but my old boss had been looking to buy a place, I kid you not, for 2 years. Like,
yeah.
the supply in Chicago is so low for the demand for buying right now. And so, like, as soon as something goes on the market, it gets bought immediately,
Mm,
especially if it's nice or
yeah.
and well renovated and ready to go. Like,
Oh,
it's
so it's
it's
a
quick.
seller's market
It
there.
really is. So, lucky people. But so they're having a hard time and they had just gotten married. His wife moved from Yonkers, New York. Yonkers. Sounds like you saying Yoki. I just say that for the crowd.
Yonky.
Yoki. But yeah, she's moving from her family's place and she's from New York. And so they were going to move in together. They were doing long distance. Like she would come like pretty consistently for longer periods of time. But they got married and now they're living at his parents' place while they're looking for homes because they didn't think it would be this long.
Yeah.
It's been almost a year now.
Oh, man.
And
Yeah.
so they're like at the same time looking for places, but they don't want to sign a year-long lease to
Because they're
rent
not sure when it's gonna
because they don't
happen.
know when that's going to happen. And so they've just been stuck.
Oh, so
Yeah.
we actually found we do a lot of what we call midterm rentals here,
Mm,
and this is a place where it fell through cracks and other people, like, managing them, so we've
mm.
actually gotten really good at this, but it's where it's anything over 30 days, but less
Yeah.
than a year. So, like, you can
Good
book it for
range.
yeah, 3 months. 3 to 6 months is, like, the sweet spot. But that actually seems like it would do really well in Chicago because, like, you
Especially now.
yeah, and for, like, summer. Like, I
It
would
was
go there for
furnished.
summer or fall months, and then
Mhm.
when it's winter, like, just go somewhere else.
I know a lot of friends that my friend Annie, my friend Emma, they were between like certain job situations where they're like, I might be moving for work, but
Yeah.
my lease is up. What am I going
Mhm.
to do? And yeah, it's like very helpful.
Yeah, or here
But,
too, a lot of
or just
people
test out like neighborhoods.
yeah, where you wanna live because I remember I was talking with, oh, one of our clients about New York. Like, when
Mm,
you move there, you really have to move it's very specific to what
yes.
neighborhood you're in, and if you have a good experience or not, if you fit in with what you like when
Yeah.
you're around there. Is that how Chicago is
It
also?
is. Chicago's very segregated. And I say segregated like it has a connotation that it does. But Chicago, if you take urban planning classes, it is a case study in the effects of how it was planned out and how people socially end up living where they
Mhm.
do. And so it became segregated. The way that they built the highways and they what is it, eminent domain, right? Where they just the government claims
Yeah,
the area and they're
just
like, we're
take
gonna
whatever.
build the highway here. Yeah. In Chicago, eminent domain, they used that to build this highway system, right? Which very efficient, good, but built to right through Chinatown.
Yeah.
It's a grid system, so like naturally it's very uniform, like things are helpful, but it draws very defined lines. So like with places where there's like a city center and things like circulate out and like get jigsaw puzzled together. Chicago is north, south, east, west roads. And
I
that's
like that. I
it's
enjoy
really,
that.
really convenient. And it's a great system for getting around and knowing where things are.
Oh my gosh, and the metro in
Oh,
Chicago So simple.
So
So
simple, so nice.
yeah,
Blue
so easy to
line,
use.
red line. So when I was saying like, oh, I am this many stops from this
Mhm.
stop on Blue Line, and it goes to the airport.
Yeah, that's so nice.
Fantastic.
Imagine that.
Imagine that.
They're actually
But yeah.
building not like that, but they're building a loop system with
Oh,
I think it's the boring company like Tesla or not Tesla, Elon
oh,
Musk, and then it's
yeah.
gonna loop in with the airport and like the
That's
different.
so nice.
But it's not. We don't have a great one that goes outside, like more
To the
away
outer
from the
areas.
strip and stuff. They're mostly focusing on
Well,
that
that makes
area.
sense.
Yeah.
Like you get right there.
Yeah. Other than that, there's
Spend your money.
expenses.
Yeah. We know why you're here. Oh my God. But no, so it's because Chicago burned down. They were like, hey, we can improve things. Now we have a clean
Chicago
slate.
burned down.
The
Can
Great
we back
Chicago
up?
Fire.
What?
You don't know about the Great Chicago Fire?
No. Tell
Guys, I thought
Chicago.
everybody knew about this. So Chicago burned down. And I'm from Chicago. I should know the day.
It's like the opposite of a holiday there.
Great Chicago Fire.
What's the opposite of a holiday?
A sad day.
Sad.
October 9th, 1871.
That's
It
coming up.
destroyed 17,000 buildings.
Ooh.
I grew up about half an hour drive outside of the center of Chicago. You could read a newspaper at night from the glow from the fire.
That's crazy.
It was nuts. That was just how much it was on fire. It burned basically everything to the ground. But if you go to the center of Chicago and you see the water tower, that is one of the few buildings that survived because it was made of stone. Big deal. Basically, it was a myth that it was caused by a cow kicking over a lantern, Miss O'Leary's cow. Poor lady. She got those chilies from that. Oh my God. I love it. But yeah, Great Chicago Fire burned down, and they basically got to clean slate, recreate the planning of Chicago. So we have alley systems. It's very clean compared to cities that don't have an alley system where we just put our trash and we don't look at it. But yeah, and so because it's a grid, it's very uniform. There's a number system north to south and east to west, and you can figure out where you are just from looking at the numbers. And then the subway system, they actually at one point raised the whole city by 2 feet. It was crazy.
What?
I don't know.
How did they do that? How do you accomplish raising an entire city?
We also reversed the flow of our.
That one is more believable than
It was a feat of engineering. They basically just put a ton of dynamite underneath the river and exploded it so that it caused this bubble that rushed it the other direction and
then
pushed
it
it
just
the other way.
continued to do that.
And now it flows to the Mississippi instead of into the lake.
So interesting, all the
Oh,
funny little
Chicago
things.
And then we have our lakefront because
Which is so
it's
nice.
so pretty.
I never imagined it would be. It's like a beach.
I'm like,
it
everybody want
looks
to go to
like
the
a
beach? And they're like, what are you talking about? We're in the middle of the country.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
no.
yeah, the beach.
It's not the beach.
You're like, a beach?
It does look like an actual like
It's
an ocean or
gorgeous.
something. It's
It's
really nice.
huge.
Water is really cold though.
Very cold. This is probably the best time to go in the water because I think the water's 75 degrees now.
Oh, that's warm.
crazy.
That's nice.
That's the warmest it gets. But yeah, so this grid system, Chicago, these people, all the different groups that they glom together because you could define it, right? And then the highways splice it up, and it's hard to get if it's not a driving city, right? To get past that. Kids have a hard time like going underneath the highway or going across the highway to get to somewhere else. So it creates these barriers for people to cross, literally. We have Little Italy, we have Ukrainian Village, we have Chinatown, we had K-Town for a minute. That they all moved north.
For a minute.
Yeah, we used to have a Koreatown, but the community moved more north.
Oh.
So it doesn't really exist
They're
anymore.
just like,
No, but we have a little sign that says this is K-Town and
This
nobody
was-
cares. This was K-Town. A Ukrainian Village, Andersonville is Swedish, and there's Boys Town, there's
town.
yeah, it's where the gays hang out. It's only called Boys Town, but where Jeffrey Dahmer would
Oh.
go. Yeah, it was pretty messed up. But a lot of
I didn't know
history
that
there
was
too.
Chicago. There's so much history.
So much history. And I feel like people forget about us sometimes. But so because of that, this little pockets of Chicago have very defined characteristics of what you enjoy there, right? So I live in Logan Square. It used to be a historically Hispanic area. Right below it is where a lot of Puerto Ricans live. So it's very interesting how you can literally cross into another area and it's welcome. Like there's a Puerto Rican flag. I think Chicago has one of the largest Puerto Rican populations outside of Puerto Rico.
I know.
Lots of fun. There's Pilsen, which is primarily Mexican. It's a very diverse city,
It is.
but I love to say that it's interesting in the sense that if you know exactly who you are, I can tell you exactly the neighborhood that you should live in.
Oh, that's what they were doing to me in New York. Okay.
Really? I love that.
Where
But
they
yeah,
live.
no. People are like, some people then that don't experience it, they see that and they're like, oh, why are people like not interacting with each other? And I would say it's so easy to get around Chicago now.
It is, yeah.
Back in the day, that's just how it happened, right? People that were moving from different countries or areas that needed community, like they would go where their community was, and it was very defined. Whereas I feel like in London or older cities, there's not really a defining like area. Like it doesn't really get enclosed necessarily. So it's, oh, like this general area is this related, but it bleeds into this other area. And Chicago's not like just because of the highways system and subway system.
Oh, like it's actually the borders. Like you're
Yes,
saying it,
there's
like, the
literal
borders.
borders. Yeah. And there's like a lot of psychology behind that, like urban planning,
Oh,
like
that's so
things.
interesting.
It's so interesting. And so my brother took a class, so I did at UIC, and he was like going on and on about it. He's, oh my God, it's so interesting. But so my area, Logan Square, is known to be very artsy. It's very lively. We have one of the largest farmers markets every Sunday. It's a lot of fun. Chicago's a big food city too, which I think is also because we have these defined cultures. And so people can be like, I want really good Mexican food. Where do I go? I'd be like, you go Southwest Side. If you want Puerto Rican food, you go near Logan. I'm really struggling with the name of the neighborhood.
Wait,
For the where the Puerto Rican area is. I don't want to
so that's
sound
right next to you,
messed
though,
up.
in
It's
Logan
right below us. And I love it. It's really good food. But
where we were walking around last time,
yeah,
that was in Logan Square, or was that other neighborhoods into it? Like how
that was
big
Logan. Those areas are probably, I would say, 2 to 3 square miles would be an area. Yeah.
Okay. Humboldt Park.
Humboldt Park is the Puerto Rican area, but that would be where I would suggest people if they want Puerto Rican food. A good friend of mine, that's a coworker of mine, she's half Puerto Rican. She's like, where do I go? And I was like, I know exactly where you need to go. And she has her go-to place.
We're the best Chicago dogs.
Well, honestly, if you find any stand that says Vienna beef, it'll be
It'll
legit.
be good.
But yeah,
Wait, what is it again what all is on a Chicago dog? What makes it a Chicago dog?
Chicago dog. I love Chicago. I could eat a Chicago dog every day.
And you should.
I should. It's like a salad. It's great. So, steamed sesame bun with a all beef hot dog, usually Vienna beef. Traditionally, it's boiled, but I love a charred one on the grill. So that's my little twist on it. But usually some places will ask you what you want, so it's nice. Then you put tomato, chopped onions, sport peppers, a little spicy.
What is a sport pepper?
It's those short little green ones.
Oh, yeah.
They're like in vinegar.
Yeah.
Good.
Yes.
And they're spicy. Sport peppers, pickle spear.
A whole pickle
A whole
spear.
pickle
I
spear.
remember that.
Oh, so good. Green relish. Yeah, it has to be bright
It's a
green.
little
Little
unnecessary,
radioactive looking. And mustard and celery salt.
Celery salt.
Which I'm like, I don't know if people use that elsewhere or if that's uniquely a Chicago thing.
I think that's when people make soups. They always
Oh, they
use
do?
celery
Okay.
salt.
Yeah. So I just grew up knowing that was on my Chicago
Celery
dog.
salt?
I was like, do people use celery salt anywhere else? Like, maybe I sound ignorant.
Personally, no.